How's it going? Mark again here. Right. I'm 13 months off benzos. And I could say that, though most of the really, really bad kind of withdrawals are kind of over. They were over within sort of 4 or 5 months. The symptoms that I still have now have lingered on, and although I've had some small windows, it's what I get now is tension, racing thoughts. All my joints are tense. I feel it, like a change just comes over me. I can be okay 1 minute, and then something happens, and then I'm Mr. Freak the next. And then one thing that right now is very, very, very hard to deal with is my emotions. If I get angry, it's just all encompassing. It's horrible. I don't really like being angry. So, any emotion is just too hard to deal with. Except happiness, which I don't get much of. But I do laugh. Now that I will say, when I laugh with every fibre of my being, which is awesome thing, and I haven't laughed in a long time, so the laughter is awesome. Anyway, I'm going to share something personal. So like I've got a social phobia. Really what I've got is anything that stimulates my central nervous system. It will overstimulate me and become negative, because it sets off the motor. There's this kind of motor. What I've got is at the moment is I've got a dysfunctional motor that runs, and it's the anxiety and depression and anger and all this, and it runs like that. And if I ignore it, I can do my own thing. But if something comes along and makes me focus on it, then it becomes the thing that's in control, if you know what I mean. So I've got the anxiety and the racing thoughts and all that, and if I ignore it and I do a bit of music and I do a bit of gardening, and I take my dog out, and I do things that don't involve me thinking too hard about anything, or trying to have to make a decision, or anything that stimulates my nervous system more, I can get by, and and I can get by comfortably. But as soon as anything like a social situation where my central nervous system's overstimulated, my thoughts start to race, and then my thoughts become irrational. I start to think things about situations that really I know aren't real, because I'm not stupid, but things just, they get out of control. And yeah, so and it's like that just within my own thought life, when there isn't no social thing. Don't get me wrong, sometimes I'm alright. That's the weird thing. Sometimes I do really well, which all that makes is when I don't do well, it shows up all the more, because I'm okay and happy and talkative, and then all of a sudden I'm moody and quiet and far off. That's what it seems like for other people when they look in, I'd imagine. when I'm far off and moody. Anything could be going on. I could be somewhere else. I might not even be in the room. I could be in some problem that I'm making up in my own head. This is the tragic thing, you know. Or me personally, and I think most people in value withdrawals make their own traumatic experience in their own mind. They make it, and we feel it, you know. And so the trick is to not think. I know that's really hard, especially when you have a racing thought. But the trick is definitely to disengage any thoughts as quickly as you can and move on to something that's a little bit better. It takes a bit of practice, but it can be done. I know that, because you learn how to do it when your thoughts hurt. So yeah, and another thing I've noticed, that, you know, a problem will be so much enlarged. So say the problem is, you know, I'm not exercising enough, you know, and I can't exercise because, you know, I've got fatigue. I'm so fatigued, you know, it's hard to exercise. So maybe I'll get on a downer about exercise, or I'll think, you know, I'm fat and I'll never be able to get in shape again, and, you know, but that's because of this anxiety. And I put a thought into the anxiety thing, and then it's the thought that's making me anxious, but it isn't. The anxiety's already there, but it's just the thought gets added into it, and then I make that the big thing, you know. So the idea is it's like, I said something to someone else. I saw a film called A Beautiful Mind, where that guy had, you know, a really smart mathematician had schizophrenia, and what he learned to do, and he had 3 personalities that kept talking to him, and he learned over time to ignore them. And that's where I'm at with the anxiety and depression. You know, I'm learning how to ignore it so that I can function and, you know, live a sort of a life that's not too difficult. But yeah, thoughts, man. It's all, you know, thoughts and feelings and the past. You know, like issues with, you know, big issues become little issues, become massive issues. Little things, little decisions. You know, cooking. What should I eat? Where should I go shopping? I've got a shop. Oh, can I wear it? Oh, you know, and anything that takes thought process is difficult. And then, so that's little silly problems. And then more difficult problems are bigger. And then real problems, like issues from the past, father issues, you know, all those problems are just magnificent and just affect you in the most extraordinarily deep and painful way. You know, and this is, you got to carry this shit around while you're trying to function a normal day-to-day thing. You know, and that's why, you know, it all gets jumbled up and mixed up, and it's hard. It's really hard. But I you know, personally, if you're going through this, we've only got to come through this way once more. I mean, I've done this a few times, you know, and I've failed, but I've never come this far. And, you know, we don't have to come through here again. So here it is. So that was a little video. I've had a rant today and I'm a bit tense. So I think doing a video is quite good because I'm quite thoughtful when I'm like that. So yeah, if you're going through Valium withdrawals, stick at it, distract yourself, relax. Everything will be an issue. So big things are going to be big issues, little things are issues. Best thing to do is not let things be an issue. And I don't know how you do it, but I do it by distraction. And literally, here's a little bit of wisdom, yeah. I'm not a wise man, yeah, but I just happen to know a bit of wisdom here and there. And here it is. There's an analogy, I think it's called, of a man standing over a pit with a chain in his hand and a dragon on the other end of the chain, your monster. And there's two things that can happen. He can pull the monster into the pit, struggle with the monster, pull it into the pit, and then end up getting dragged into the pit. Or he can let go of his pull and then end up getting pulled into the pit by the monster. Or, and there seems to be no way out of that, but he could always just let go of the chain. And that is the key. Let go. Learn to let go. Practice letting go. Because letting go will help you immensely through this long and traumatic time of benzodiazepine withdrawal. And it is traumatic. I've been a lot of things in my life. I've been an intravenous heroin addict. I've used crack too much. I've done these things, right, and they don't hold nothing for trauma like this does. This is the most traumatic thing I've ever known in my life. So there it is. I've been a bit honest. All right. Take heart.